Hi everyone, Angela here with Tunisian Crochet Grafgan Boutique. I am one of your admins, and I'm here today to talk about the Tunisian Mosaic crochet technique that Jessica has been teaching in group. So this is a modified version of her tree pattern, and this is using the mosaic with the houndstooth border. So really neat border. We have an event up with that information in it. We'll be doing another video for that soon. And then in order to kind of help a few people out who have asked about anchoring the back of this style of work. So the Tunisian Mosaic is worked every other row in the opposite color. So although you can't see it here because of the mosaic, I am working with the light green, the brown, the light green, the brown, and alternating all the way up. So in the tree pattern here in the center, I'm using the green, and I am using the modified extended front post Tunisian simple stitch to drop down to the row below and cover up that brown. And then the opposite on the outside here in the brown, this is dropping down to cover up the green on the row below it. So when you do that, you get this really nice striping effect on the back, but what you're also going to see are these ridges. So as I go through here, you're going to be able to see that you can actually get a lip. So as you go through these, because we're skipping a row with a modified extended front post Tunisian simple stitch, it leaves this row that we're skipping unanchored, and you can see it creates this little pocket here. And some people it doesn't bother, and others prefer not to have it there. So depending on what you're wanting to do, you may or may not care. If it's a pillow, you may not care that this ridge is here. If you're looking at doing a blanket and it's going to be one-sided and you're not going to put anything on the back of it, then you may want to anchor this so that you're not getting these little pockets everywhere. So in order to do that, we're going to use an anchoring technique. So I'm going to grab another one of Jessica's patterns that I'm working on, which is also done in the mosaic, and this is her Love Lips pattern. This one is the purple, and I am using a variegated yarn with my black as my primary colors. So on the row that I'm on, what's going to happen here is when I go to do that modified extended front post Tunisian simple stitch, I am going to be dropping down and working a row below where I am currently. And that's what's giving us that ridge that everybody wants to see anchored. So I'm going to just zoom in a little bit here. And on the back of this, you can see this black ridge right here is the one I'm going to be using to anchor. So I'm working in my variegated, and I've got my Tunisian simple stitches on for this row. Now, as I start my row here with these drop down stitches, there's nothing to anchor it to. I don't have any kind of a lip until I get here. So I've got a couple of stitches I have to do first. So being that we are working in the modified front post extended Tunisian simple stitch, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go down, and I'm not working in this black row, even though that's my current row and you would normally put your stitch right here. I need to do that modified extended front post Tunisian simple stitch to cover up that black stitch, right? So I just want it to look like it does here, where it's my variegated yarn, my variegated yarn. So I'm going to go behind that stitch. So this is creating the front post. And the modification is that we're not working in this top row, right? So that's why it's a modified stitch. We're dropping down to that row below. So the front post stitch and the extended is that chain that gives you in there. And as you can see, I've just covered that whole stitch up. So now you're just looking at two variegated stitches. There's no black there. So I've got a couple of those that I'm going to need to do before I can get to where I'm going to start anchoring. I'm just going to do these stitches quick. All right, so now where I am is going to be right here, which starts this ridge from the rows that I skipped below. Now you may not have everywhere where you're going to be able to do that. And the reason for that is because in some places where you very first start your modified extended front post Tunisian simple stitch, you may not have a row that you can anchor it with because there may not be a row below it. or above it. So every once in a while you're going to get a little bit of a lip here. It's nothing major, but you can see all these other rows on the back side, unlike with the tree pattern, are all anchored. There's no lip. I can't run my finger across it and lift it up. So they're all anchored very nice. It looks very clean. So to do that, I'm going to go ahead and go behind my first stitch, or I guess behind my next stitch. And normally I would just pull these forward, right? That's how I would create that front post. But I'm going to go through the back first. And as I look on the back, I can find this black lip. Now there's a couple of different posts here. You can see there's some vertical bars from the Tunisian Simple Stitch that we didn't use, and there's the horizontal top bar. I'm going to grab that piece of yarn that's going across the horizontal top bar. Okay, so here's my vertical stitch here. I've got a vertical stitch here, but I grab that horizontal top bar. Okay, now that I've done that, I'm going to flip my work back so it's facing me, and I'm going to pull that forward so that I'm doing that front post stitch again. So I've lifted both of the bars of that Tunisian Simple Stitch, and in the middle you can see there's that black piece of yarn that I grabbed from that horizontal bar. Okay, and I'm going to yarn over, I'm going to pull through, that creates my front post, yarn over and pull through, and that creates the extended part of that stitch. So again, for this one I'm not going to anchor it. I try to anchor about every other stitch, and then this next one I'm going to anchor again. So I'm going to go find my next stitch, I'm going to insert my hook behind it, look on the back, I'm going to find this flap again, I'm going to pick up the top horizontal bar. Okay, I'm going to bring it forward so that now my hook has lifted both bars of my Tunisian Simple Stitch, and you can see in the middle there's that black bar I picked up again from the back. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through. So there is my modified extended front post Tunisian Simple Stitches, and because I have started anchoring these in the back here, you can see there's no ridge to lift. Now when I get to this section here, you can see I can still put my finger on it, I can still lift it and flip it because I haven't anchored it yet. And there's where the anchor starts. So you want to make sure that when you're anchoring this, you want to do about every other stitch, and then it will keep that flat, and then you'll have these nice flat textured rows on the back. I hope that helps. If you have any more questions, please let us know in the group, and we'll be happy to try to answer those for you. Again, please like, share, and subscribe, and we will talk to you again.